Hey everyone, it's Sevy. The Genshin 2.2 banners just dropped, the character and the weapon banners. So we're going to go over them, the overall value and rating of the banner, and we'll just give it a review. So first we have the Childe banner, the character banner. On it we have Yanfei, Ningguang, and Chongyun. So first of all, this banner is pretty new player friendly, okay? If new players are pulling on the Childe banner, looking for some damage dealers, looking for some sub DPSs or main DPSs, then these 4-star characters are pretty good in that regard. They're pretty good consolation prizes, or they're good to have on the banner. If you don't end up getting Childe, at least you'll end up with Yanfei or Ningguang, who will be very good main carry DPSs. I personally really like Yanfei as a pyro DPS, and Ningguang is pretty solid. She's one of the best 4-star DPS carries out there. Chongyun is somewhat underrated. He's great in national team. He's great as a burst support. And one good thing is that I know Chongyun and Childe aren't usually paired together, but if you get Chongyun's Constellation 2, that can actually reduce the cooldown of Childe's skill and burst, and any other unit who casts their skill and burst within Chongyun's circle. If you do want to use Chongyun's C2 to reduce Childe's skill cooldown, you will have to stay within the field and then cast out of it in the field as well, as far as I can tell. So it's a bit complicated. You will have to micromanage your timing a bit more and your positioning. It's not really an ideal setup. I don't really recommend Chongyun and Childe in the same team. But Chongyun in himself, he's a good unit for a burst reverse melt damage dealer. Basically, he's underrated, but a lot of people learn to love him when in the right team comps. Overall, these characters don't really mesh well together in a team, but individually, they are really good for new players. Old players, they probably might not be pulling on this banner anyway because it's a second Childe rerun once again, but yes, if you're a new player, then this banner has some pretty good value. The only thing is that it's like a copy of the Ayaka banner. Like literally it's the same 4 stars if you look at it, and that's kind of weird because not only are they rerunning Childe, but they're also rerunning the 4 stars. How many banners after? Yoimiya, Raiden, Kokomi. So it's like 4 banners after. It's very strange, honestly. So moving on to the weapon banner. Okay, so we have the Polar Star and we have Memory of Dust. Let's talk about the 5 stars first. So Polar Star, so far, it's kind of really whale bait because already from the get-go, even though we're going to test Polar Star against Skyward Harp and Thundering Pulse soon, from the get-go, it doesn't look like it's significantly better because Thundering Pulse and Skyward Harp are already very solid weapons. It's just a matter of how much more Polar Star will be better than them, right? So unless you can really afford it, like unless you're a Childe simp or unless you like to wail on these banners, it's not necessary at all. So Memory of Dust as the second 5-star weapon on the banner. The Memory of Dust Vortex Megashore series is aggressively okay. They don't really specialize in anything. I wouldn't really recommend Memory of Dust as a best in slot for anyone. But let's say you pull Ningguang and you want to build her as a DPS and you accidentally get Memory of Dust, they're okay to pair together because Ningguang as a main carry, she performs really well on a 4-piece bolide, which requires her to be shielded, and Memory of Dust also requires her to be shielded. So it's an okay pair, but personally, if you have a good catalyst already, such as Lost Prayers, Skyward Atlas, or even if you use the Solar Pearl from the BP, or even Dodoko Tails, those are already quite good and feasible catalysts for your characters. Essentially, this banner is a complete not must pull, unless you're really gunning for the Polar Star. The 4 stars are quite decent, actually. I'm happy that there's a Rust on the banner because it's Childe's best 4-star weapon, especially on high refinements. So if you don't end up with Polar Star, hopefully you end up with a Rust or Rust refinements, and you can put that on your Childe. There's also the Akumaru, which we've discussed previously. That would be pretty good on Chongyun and other Claymore users. For new players, character banner is pretty good. For old players, both these banners are pretty skippable unless you're a whale and a Childe simp, then Pour your heart out for that polar star. If you're a new player, let me know what you think of the character banner and if you'll be pulling on it, or if you're happy with the 4 stars. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, consider subscribing to my channel, and if you're an upcoming child haver, go ahead and check out my child videos because they will really help you. I will see you soon. Take care!